I think the way you are approaching your dying right now is so compassionate and intentional and loving. And I asked Mom if it would be okay if I share your story with my friends and maybe the public, because I think it helps change the way people can think about dying. Not necessarily the death with dignity part. I mean, that's just the way you're choosing to go.
Right.
But it's the way you're approaching death that I find so amazing.
Well, my thinking is that, look, if you keep going, Charlie, you're going to get worse and worse and worse and worse as far as Hansen's, or not Hansen's.
Parkinson's?
Parkinson's disease. And the other can't be worse than this.
I am so impressed and grateful with the way you and Dad are changing the narrative around dying, and what I know in our lives with you, you've always been open about dying. I know that you joined the Hemlock Society, which was kind of the early...
That was in the 80s.
In the 80s.
And the thing that brought that out was a young woman in Portland who was very active and involved in so much of life, but who discovered that she had Alzheimer's. And rather than suffer through those awful, awful times, she chose to take her own life. Part of her family supported her, part of it did not. We have been so thankful that you and Geraldine and Gwenda have been willing to support us as we have progressed in our understanding of what we understand life and death to be.
So why are you able to think of dying in such a different way without that sense of dread or fear, or do you? What are the feelings that you have when you think about dying?
At this point, it's rather exciting, wondering what will we find on the other side. As I've often said to friends, I think it's going to be great, but if it isn't, we won't know.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
You both have always said you want to go hand in hand, and I know many people would say that. When Dad was diagnosed with 6 months or fewer to live, it wasn't obvious that you were that close to dying, although you've had many years of heart disease, and you have been on death's door, at least it seemed, many times.
I've had cancer and had major surgery, went through the chemo, have had heart attacks. But whether it's will or what, when Charlie needed to have care, I was able to give him that care till he started to fall a lot. And then he was taken to the skilled nursing. We're living in assisted living at this time. And as a result of his going downhill, I told our doctor that he wanted to have death with dignity, and I also would like to. And she said, well, we have to have you checked. We have to have you examined by another doctor, and he has to determine that you are eligible according to the state law. I said, well, we do want it to be legal. So that occurred. I had a wonderful doctor who interviewed me. He was so very good in listening with his ears as well as his heart. And we had a wonderful conversation. And he said at the end, I want to check with the cardiologist, I want to check with your doctor and the ethics people and make sure that we are on firm ground. And we were. So it was very affirming.
Affirming. Lovely. And so once you had given your verbal notice to your first doctor, you'd been evaluated by a second doctor.
There was a period of time in there you don't do anything one day and then the next day you do something else. There was a period of time, 15 days I think it was, from one till the next.
And then you have to write, you have to sign
you
something.
have to sign something after both have agreed and that is really your wish. And then in the closing days, or after all of this has happened, then there has to be a verbal agreement again.
And
So
Dad
they are making sure that you are still of the opinion and the firm belief that this is the manner that you want to use.
And you two have never wavered.
We have not.
So some would say, but Mom, you are still a lot healthier than Dad is right now. So a lot of widows actually kind of have a new life and they can experience things. You've been taking care of Dad for years now. And so why wouldn't you be inclined to just stay longer?
I think that is the choice of many wives or husbands. We have both here. And I think looking at my mom, she, after Dad's death, went on with her life and came to India to visit us twice and lived a very fruitful life after Dad died. But he was in his early 70s. She lived to be 93. Until the last couple of years, 3 years, she was quite healthy. However, I'm 88, and I know that from here on, and Charlie and I have a rather unique relationship that we have done and been so much for each other for 70 years. When we met, he had the job of skate boy at the gymnasium on Saturday night, helping people get their roller skates on. We had...
They weren't shoe skates. Let me clamp on your foot. Sorry.
Well, no, those were shoe skates because
No, I had to tighten.
you had to tighten the wheels, but that's when you asked me when you tied it. Is it? Anyway, one way or another, he asked me if he put my skates on, and he said, are they too tight? And I said, no. Are they too loose? And I said, no. He said, you're easy to please. However, we had met the Sunday night before at the dining room table in our dormitory. And he was sitting at the end of the table, and he said, I was down the ways, and he said, Porter, will you pass the butter, please? And I said, I have a first name. And
I learned it.
yeah. Well, that was our first kiss in the Green Hornet, an old Model A, and we were parked in front of Hewlett Hall, and I was ready to go in for the night because it was almost 10 o'clock, curfew, and we had our first kiss. And Charlie reached into his pocket and took out his handkerchief and wiped off his mouth, which had lipstick on it. And he said, "There, I've got proof." And I reached over and snatched the handkerchief and ran into Hewlett Hall and said, "No, you don't." So we were going steady. By the end of 10 days, we finally persuaded our parents and were married our senior year in college. We had tried to persuade them to let us get married long before this, but they kept saying, "No, get your education first. You'll get pregnant, and then you won't get to finish your education. Don't you think we know anything?" Well, you know what happened after we were married. 9 months and 10 days later, Jerry was born. So we didn't know as much as we thought we knew.
We graduated from medical school and went to San Diego, and Mom felt she had died and gone to heaven. San Diego was such a nice place to be. We met a man who's in charge of all the Presbyterian medical mission work, Ted Stevens. And he says, "This is the first time I've ever been handed an ENT man on a silver platter." We agreed to go to Mirage, not knowing where Mirage was, not even knowing where India was. We went to India intending just to be a Christian life by example, show what we thought Christianity meant, because we thought we had all the answers when we went out. But we had changed considerably. Learned that we could learn from Hinduism and learn from other cultures. We have dedicated our body to medical science, so we'll be cadavers. Help somebody else learn. And all we have to do is lie there.
We met the freshman year of college. We were married our senior year. We just celebrated our 66th wedding anniversary with our family around us, our 6 grandkids, our 3 daughters and their spouses.
Are you looking for your favorite daughter? I'm here, Mom, I'm here. Hello.
Wonderful celebration, and it has been a time of recalling so many moments that have meant so much to both Charlie and me, and they have had him telling jokes, which he loves to do, and it's been a celebratory time. Yes, there are tears, and it is going to be very hard to leave tomorrow. But that's our choice.
Let me just confirm with my folks that that would work for them. I'm sitting with them right now. This is Linda from the End of Life Choices organization. She would like to come and just meet you. Tomorrow morning works well for her. Would that work for you?
I think we can put that into our tight schedule, can't we?
They will be here on Thursday, and it is they who will mix up the medicines. The medicines have to be mixed with water. It takes time. Cher and I would like to be simply present with you and Mom and not worrying about mixing up those medicines.
That's good.
And Linda, who was our lead person for this process, wants to come and just simply meet you. And that's who's coming tomorrow at 10, so that she can meet you. She can answer any questions, that kind of thing. So I've told her, had you told Dad about the timing?
No, he
Oh.
hasn't. I haven't had a chance.
Okay. So do you want to?
We talked this morning. The nurse is writing an order that you will get no breakfast on Thursday morning.
No breakfast.
No breakfast.
Right.
And that Sher will come and pick you up and bring you to the apartment before 9 o'clock.
And that's on Friday?
Before
On Thursday.
Thursday, the 20th. And when you get there, probably she'll come 8 o'clock or 8:30. We are going to take the first 2 or 3 pills, we'll find out how many this morning, that help keep our tummies calm. And there's an hour then from that till we take the medicine at 10 o'clock. We moved it up since we won't have eaten anything since the night before. And that's a good time then for the stomach to be able to take the Seconal or whatever it is.
You will have better absorption
Better
on
absorption.
an empty stomach.
Did you get that? We will have better absorption with empty stomachs.
All right.
So we're not going to wait for our afternoon nap. We're going to take a mid-morning nap.
Right.
About 10 o'clock.
That's fine.
And Cher and Jerry suggest that each of us should sit on the edge of the bed to take it because Jerry understands it affects very quickly so that we can lie down. But I'm going to hold yours for you in case you have any tremor.
Yeah, we don't want
But
you spilling.
You have to take it. Okay?
Oh, she gonna take it from me?
And then as soon as you have taken yours, I'll go to the other side and take mine and we'll lie down. And Jerry said we could hold hands if we wanted to.
Wow.
Or you can cuddle.
Or we can cuddle.
Whatever will make you happy as you lie there.
Okay. Right doing it.
We are so blessed that we have children who are willing and supportive of our choices, helping us. And Jerry has just been absolutely astounding in all of the intricate.
No end of things he's done for it.
What's that?
No end of things he's done for it.
Exactly, yeah. And Cher's there supporting in any way she can, and she brought donuts and maple bars.
This morning or for
Yeah, you want a donut, Dad?
Thursday morning.
Not Thursday.
No.
Good morning.
Do you sleep?
Not real well.
Not real well.
Yeah, that's one thing I blame on. Yeah.
Sure. No sleep is not good.
How are you guys?
Good.
Did you sleep?
I did. I find that my emotions are right on the surface today. That's not been the case. For the most part, I've been very, celebratory and grateful and loving. And last night, the emotions started to, and this morning, it's just, I'm just letting it flow when it flows.
Yeah, okay. Jerry called, and she's on her way.
When you take the Seconal, once you've taken it, there's no going back. At that point, I am to page Dr. She will call OHSU and say, whatever it is she says, but this is an expected death, and I release the body, or whatever it is she needs to say.
Does Isabel still need to get in on it?
Yes, Isabel will be the one to actually pronounce your deaths.
Okay.
And give us a time of death. But OHSU would not pick up you, Mom, without a doctor being involved.
Okay. Very good. That's just one more wrinkle smoothed out.
Thank you, Geraldine. You're the ironer.
Boy.
I hate ironing.
I'm a co-team leader. I'm a volunteer with End of Life Choices Oregon. You know, only a very few people use the law in Oregon every year. And they're special people. And their families are special.
And the people who help are special.
Well, we're all special. And this is quite unusual for two people to be taking the medicine at the same time. We're fortunate to have Megan working with you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Most organizations don't have somebody, in fact, no organizations have somebody like Megan, who is a patient advocate. And I love working with her because she gets it all done. For you, I will open the capsules. I'll probably come about the same time that you take those pre-medications.
That'll be 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock in the morning, okay. And then I'll open the capsules, answer any questions that anybody has at that moment.
Okay.
How's your swallowing?
Pretty good, very good.
Pretty good.
He uses a straw.
Okay. Sometimes if you use a large bore straw, you just cut them off a little bit so they're not so long.
And we'll set down 2 cups that are quite small, that easier to handle.
Good.
Than a big mug.
Yeah, perfect.
And
And we understand that Mom is allowed to hold his Dad's cup
Yeah, anybody can hold it.
as long as Dad uses the straw.
That's right. It's all about intent. It's not about your physical capability.
Right.
Once you fall asleep, you're very, very deeply asleep. You will be completely unaware of anything that's going on around you. You'll fall into a coma, and at that point, it's just a question of how long your body continues.
Right.
It will be really, really obvious to everyone there what's happening. There are a few color changes, maybe a bit of snoring. I'll try to help you minimize snoring because it's so unattractive.
Oh, I don't think we'll hear about
We're not going to worry.
this is not going to be on CNN.
So, but what I really want you to know is that there's nothing like what the dramatic death scenes that you see, you know, with people, you know, going through all kinds of agonies. None of that. You fall asleep. You do not lose control of your bowel or bladder. You do not gasp for breath. You do not do any of those things. There'll be another volunteer with me. Her name is Dariana Mooney.
Dariana?
Dariana.
Spell that for me.
Derianna.
Okay.
Dariana.
Thank you.
Dariana's been working for 18 years doing this work.
I don't know how to do it very soon.
Pretty soon. She's going to have it done.
I'm trying to train her, but she's just so slow.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it 12 years.
12 years. Wow.
He is a former Kaiser doctor.
You are not. Are you really?
When he retired, his team gave him a huge button that says, "Not always right, but never in doubt."
That is so funny. Oh gosh, I can see your family has had a lot of laughs.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's what they say has kept them together for 70 years. Humor.
Cher wants us to drop a purple feather, no, blue feather,
Blue or purple, whichever you want.
whichever one.
And I said that. And I mentioned that to a friend of mine whose mom passed after a long illness. And when they were at the viewing for their mom, her sister Harriet was up
and looking down at her mom. And just then Joyce, my friend's, her sister's phone rang, and it was Harriet, the sister who was up looking at her mom. And so when Harriet came back and sat down, Joyce said, "Harriet, your phone just pocket called me." She said, "My phone's in the car." So Joyce said, don't restrict how they can communicate with you, because now they can use technology on the other side too.
I'm a curious cat, so there'll be a lot to learn, I hope. There are very few people here who know that this is our choice. And they're going to guess after they see that we've gone together. But we're also, for our friends who do not live here, it's going to be My Heart Gave Out. And
Dad died of complications of Parkinson's.
So just to make it honest, but not full.
Well, and that's what your death certificate will say too, that you died of your underlying disease. So, you know, you're not obligated to tell people all these details.
That's correct.
You know. So.
Except we do appreciate the fact that Sher and Rob are interested in helping other people realize that this is a live option.
I think it's easier to control. If you are clear on the message from the beginning, the question is, what do you want people to know?
Personally, I don't care if they know we use death with dignity. And I think it might be a real boon for other people that to know that it is a choice that one can make without having legal problems.
Okay, so
But I'm not going to say anything to anybody about it. However, if they draw the conclusion that the fact that I have written thank you notes to them, it meant that I got to die when Charlie died. Wow, how'd she do that?
I'm completely in agreement, Mom. One of the things that we're planning to do this afternoon is write the messaging that's going to go out to people after you die.
And this is what I would like it to say. After long illnesses, and with Dad with Parkinson's and Mom with heart disease, they died peacefully in their sleep.
That's pretty innocuous.
Is that what you want all the people we've identified? The Kaiser people, all the people to be notified. You want everyone to get that message.
I guess I don't feel it's honest to say after a long illness, after a long struggle with heart disease, and Charlie with Parkinson's.
We can say something like, as most of you know, or as you know, Mom and Dad struggled for a long time. He with Parkinson's, she with heart disease. Yesterday, or the day before, or whenever it is that we send this out, they died peacefully in their sleep.
And it could even be, I think, Jerry, you mentioned, depending on who of you dies first, it would be, Charlie died, and not surprisingly soon after Francie died or something, or whoever.
That sounds better than a long illness, because it has, but not that way.
Right.
Okay, go with it. Are you happy with that?
I am. it's going to be hard to let you go, but I have to say, I've been in such a place of gratitude that we have this time, personally, one-on-one, and as a family, to have this time to say, what else do I want to say? What else do I want to ask? And without you suffering in the process. So for families who are in a similar situation that you're in,
Nobody can make anybody else's choice for them. What you can learn is, what are my options? What do I want my options to say? And what, for some people, their faith will not let them do this. We have had a faith that says life is not to be worshipped. The quality of life is what counts. And that as far as we are concerned, everybody else is welcome to their decisions, but we're so glad somebody isn't telling us we can't do what we feel is the right thing.
I'm so grateful that you are this open. When my friends heard that the two of you were making this choice, they said, Cher, this is just phenomenal.
Well, I'll also say, when you're saying that, we have tried to be open about all areas of our lives, including the financial. So many families are so tight about what their financial situation is, and I think it puts the kids in a rather tough spot. So we've really tried to be open about most everything.
That's a really good point. And that's a huge point, because I think so often at the end of life, when parents do leave, it's the finances that create such an issue. Mm-hmm. And you've been having us choose what items we want for years. There's a spreadsheet. So then we said we're going to have fun visiting each other, because we'll see all these different things that we remembered from our childhood or from these later years in your life. And Mom, I love you.
Oh, I love you too, sweetheart. And that's probably the basic requirement is love. And it doesn't matter what we do, as long as, no, that's not exactly the case. It does matter, because when we love somebody, we want the best for them. Yeah. And certainly we have enjoyed the love of you kids and of your spouses. And
what if one of us had said, absolutely not?
That would have been very hard. I don't think that would have held, but it would have made it very difficult. And I think from the standpoint of our having talked about it through all the years, we knew that there may not be the same degree of acceptance by all three, but certainly the support is there in one way or another.
And there isn't the same degree of support.
No, there isn't.
And I'm so impressed that the love support is the same. That even though there's some misgiving, not everyone in the family feels like this is as comfortable a choice as some of us do feel. It has not interfered at all with the relationship. And that speaks volumes to you and Dad for the way you have supported us, even when you have not always thought we were making the right decision, and you were probably correct, but you supported us anyway. And so there is this common respect and love and support, regardless. Enough. I love you, Mom. I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you, but I'm going to watch. Yes, you better.
to me, we're ready now. Loved ones are here, and God is near. It's time to go, love. Was a good show, love. The curtain closes, collect our roses. The crowds dance, they wave their hands, they wish us well as we exhale. And tonight we bid farewell to times we flew and times we fell. A memory lives through each one of you. And in the days to come, we will rise with every sun and light your way and walk as one.
So just know that you're on your own journeys now, but you're going to meet up over there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And even those journeys we get to go together.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I honor you for this decision that you've made. They love us so, more than we could know. Let's not go far from where they are. Our life a blessing, no more to ask for. Founded on love and all we stood for. They're excited, we're still united as we move forward hand in hand. They understand that tonight we bid farewell to times we flew and times we fell. Our memory lives through each one of you. Oh, and in the days to come, we will rise with every sun and light your way and walk as one. We were strong and we were bold. We lived long and we grew old. Together, always and forever. Now they've all found their wings, so let's soar where angels sing and rise like feathers on the wind. And tonight we bid farewell to times we flew and times we fell. Our memory lives through each one of you. Oh, and in the days to come, we will rise with every sun and light your way and walk as one.
Oh man, what a life, what a life. You guys have made it that way.
Do you have any other thoughts that you haven't said now that you'd like to share?
Well, I guess just that I do hope it's a glorious adventure and that we just get to keep learning.
lie next to me. We're ready now. Loved ones are here, and God is near. It's time to go, love. Was a good show, love. The curtain closes. Collect our roses. The crowd stands. They wave their hands. They wish us well as we exhale. And tonight we bid farewell to times we flew and times we fell. Our memory lives through each one of you. And in the days to come, we will rise with every sun and light your way and walk as one. They love us so, more than we could know. Let's not go far from where they are. Our life a blessing, no more to ask for. Founded on love and all we stood for. They're excited, we're still united as we move forward hand in hand. They understand that tonight we bid farewell to times we flew and times we fell. Our memory lives through each one of you. Oh, and in the days to come, we will rise with every sun and light your way and walk as one. We were strong and we were bold. We lived long and we grew old. Together, always and forever. Now they've all found their wings, so let's soar where angels sing and rise like feathers on the wind. And tonight we bid farewell to times we flew and times we fell. Our memory lives through each one of you. Oh, and in the days to come, we will rise with every sun and light your way and walk as one.